Today, we'll be getting into all of the offerings for the 2026 EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival, and of course, we'll get into the foodie guide. Hello and welcome to the Let's Go to the Parks podcast. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Lucy.
Today is Sunday, August 23rd, and you're listening to episode 154, the 2026 EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival. Before we get into today's main topic, here's what's going on in the parks right now. So the big news of the week is the EPCOT Food and Wine Festival kicks off in 2 days as this episode airs. So that's going to be on Thursday, the 27th. We're getting into all of the offerings coming to the festival this year, along with the foodie guide in today's episode. It's going to be dedicated to that. And we're super excited because we absolutely love food and wine.
And we're going to be there to partake in it in October.
Yes. So we're
cannot wait.
Yeah, exactly. So we're super pumped about that. Also at EPCOT, across from the Odyssey building, they've added these, what I'm going to call standing tables along the railings that line the walkway there. Okay. Yeah. So these are obviously intended for guests to munch on their festival eats and sips throughout the day. And we love the concept. There are signs on these in the corner that show like someone sitting with a prohibited sign across the graphic. But as we all know, right, some guests are probably going to be sitting on there anyway because they're not actually like table height. They're like hip height, if that makes sense. So like the railing
is
a
very easy sitting
that's
spot.
That's the thing, right? I think that's why those signs are on there, is because they know that it's about at sitting height. So that's tempting.
Yeah.
But obviously that's not what it's intended for. And not to be skeptical, I think it's great. I just hope that people behave and they use them in the way that it's intended.
I guess we shall see.
Exactly, we will see. Over in Magic Kingdom and Storybook Circus, Big Top Treats and Big Top Souvenirs have reopened after being closed for the last 6 months or so. The space feels fresh. There's some new offerings at their bakery there, which is just great to see. And Walt Disney World has added Caribbean Beach Resort to their small list of resorts that do airport luggage transfer service to your Disney resort. So as of this recording, this includes the All-Star Resorts, so music, sports, and movies, Pop Century, Art of Animation, and now Caribbean Beach. It's currently offered for American Airlines, Southwest, and Delta. So hopefully we see that come to more Disney resorts as time advances. But yeah, it's those 5 resorts as of right now for those 3 airlines.
Yeah, absolutely. The Play Disney Parks app is being retired as of September 16th, which is coming up pretty quickly here. The app was used to interact with some experiences in the domestic parks, including some internal functions like trivia. In Galaxy's Edge, it was used for Star Wars Datapad, Batuu Bounty Hunters, DuckTales World Showcase Adventures over in EPCOT, among a few other things. Batuu Bounty Hunters will actually be moving to Magic Band Plus, but the other offerings that used to be on that app are just kind of in limbo right now.
Yeah, not too sure what's going to happen with that, like DuckTales over at EPCOT. Yeah, we don't know.
Over in Disneyland, Bob Iger officially has his own Main Street USA window as of August 16th. This is a nice nod to a great CEO, in our opinion, in recognition of his contributions to the company during his tenure. The window says, New Century Builders, Robert A. Iger, Chief Architect, with the quote, looking forward to your tomorrow. It's a great gesture that just definitely signifies a significant figure in the Disney history.
For sure, absolutely.
A lot of important people in the company have their windows. So
yes,
he deserved it.
And, Imagineers, executive, all a bunch of people, but like Robert Iger, just significant contributions,
Huge.
Right? In terms of acquisitions, like, Pixar, Lucasfilm, Marvel, like
he brought it to where it is today.
Yeah, 100%. So there's lots of good that he did while he was CEO. So yeah, it's nice to see.
Absolutely. Still at Disneyland, Oogie Boogie Bash has kicked off for this season. The event runs select nights from October 18th through to Halloween, with prices ranging from $139 to $199. Of note, there's Madame Leota's Swinging Wake, which is kind of like a show/parade, which is really awesome. We actually watched some clips of this and it seems great. So definitely make sure to catch that if you are heading to the event this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like a blast for sure.
For us, not a whole lot is new this week. I just got back from Eagle Bay, which is a little bit further north here in Saskatchewan, where we live. We had a nice few days with my parents. The kids were completely unplugged, which was awesome because that doesn't always get to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We did lots of fishing. My dad is an avid fisherman and has a boat. And just spent a lot of time outdoors. It was a really nice reset for us before school starts up again, although we still have another week and a half before that starts. The kids officially go back to school on September 2nd.
Yeah, exactly.
We start a little later here than I know a lot of our American friends.
Exactly. And Sophia actually has a dance intensive this week. She's going to be there each day for about 5 hours. And then that following week is when school starts again. and everything that comes with that. So dance season, swim lessons, scouts, the whole shebang. We won't be back, I guess, in the full swing of things until, another week and a half. And like you just said, we know we have a lot of American friends that their kids are already back in school, and a lot of our listeners are US based as well. And we know you guys are already back in the thick of it. And we feel for you. I personally haven't had much of a break at all over the summer. So I'm really looking forward to this trip down to Orlando in just 15 days. 15 days I leave today.
Yep.
So really excited for that. With that said, let's get into today's main topic, which will be the 2026 EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival, or just Food and Wine for short. That kicks off this Thursday, so that's August 27th, and it's going to run all the way through to November 21st, giving you just about 3 whole months to take advantage of its offering, which is awesome because it probably has the best food of any of the festivals. And looking at the menus, this year is especially solid. In terms of experiencing the festival itself, it's important to note that the first 2 months of the festivals are likely going to be very hot and humid. Okay, so it's still August, so you're still smack dab in the middle of summer, despite the Halloween and fall decorations across the parks and resorts that has you feeling like it's later than it is, but it's still August, right? So you do have to contend with that heat and humidity for sure. The hottest parts of the day are going to push, 100 degrees or 40 degrees Celsius with humidex, which means you probably won't necessarily want heavy foods like cheese and that type of heat.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been, part of that, or if we've experienced that, like I distinctly remember it was either late August or beginning of September, and it was just sweltering, and we had a fry flight from Fry Basket, and it was delicious, but we were just sweating sitting down.
Yeah.
So it was just, sometimes eating in that temperature is just not the best. So just something to keep in mind because, if you go during that time, you have to contend with that heat. But having said that, the crowds tend to be the absolute lightest in August and September. So in that sense, it's the perfect time to go.
Yeah, you'll be there in September and you get to do it again in October. And
October will almost certainly be busier. Yeah.
It will be, but I don't think it'll be gross busy. I think it'll just be busy, like Disney busy.
No, for sure. But it also, I think it's going to be a little bit cooler.
Yes,
it won't be quite as hot,
help.
which will be nice. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, like we were saying, typically that weather, like it said, gets a little bit milder in the October-November season there. And that's just when that comfort food, something warm and cheesy, just might be the perfect thing. So I'm really looking forward to trying a lot of these dishes that we're going to talk about today. I distinctly remember when we were there in late November a couple of years ago, there was this really random cold front in Central Florida. So we definitely appreciated the warm food on those days for sure. And that's the thing with such a long festival is you are guaranteed to pretty much experience something different depending on when you decide to visit.
Absolutely, for sure.
You're going to feel a huge difference between September and October.
Definitely.
So despite the hot weather, historically, when we've been to Food and Wine, it's been in late August, early September, and it's always sweltering, like Oliver said. But that trade-off there is that low crowds.
Exactly.
You're not, you definitely feel the low crowds in September for sure.
Yeah.
That's why we appreciate the other festivals like Flower and Garden Festival, which is usually between March and May. The weather's not usually nearly as hot during that time. Plus the park as a whole, just beautiful with all the topiaries and the flowers. And then Festival of the Holidays and Festival of the Arts in the very end of November and December and January into February. Same thing. Weather's much nicer just for eating around the world, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. And especially for like warm dishes or comfort dishes during those months. It's definitely nice to have. Yeah. But Food and Wine does draw people to Epcot, right? And for good reason, because the food is solid and it overlaps with the Halloween season at the parks, which is only getting more popular each year. And with that, let's get into what you can find at the festival again this year. So returning for 2026 is Remy's Ratatouille Hide and Squeak. And this is a scavenger hunt, right? So not surprising. It's usually around every year. So just like the other festivals and scavenger hunts throughout the year, you purchase your map and stickers from either Creation Shop, Disney Traders, or World Traveler. And then you find the hidden Remy's kind of across the park and the World Showcase. When you're done, and whether you've completed it or not, it doesn't matter. You bring your map back to Creations, Disney Traders, or World Traveler and redeem your prize, right? So this is a fun way to kind of get your kids involved. And depending on their age and stamina, right, it can be just a little bit hard for them to walk around the World Showcase and wait in line for festival eats, right? They may not want to do that. So it's a good way to just kind of keep them entertained while you're doing that, right? Because that is fun for mom and dad. For our kids, they do have a hard time with the concept of snacking, right? They're so used to sitting down for 3 square meals a day. So the concept of just, eating a bit and then like
giving it a try and
and then eating a bit and then like just several times, right, in a relatively short amount of time, it's foreign to them, which is totally fair based on their everyday experiences.
Yeah, but we try and definitely get, if there's something that we know they won't eat, that we want to try, we'll get them something that we know they will eat. So they're snacking on something at the same time we're snacking on something, and everybody's happy. It's
No, for sure. But
sense.
like, for example, I was looking at the foodie guide yesterday, and Caleb, our son, he was kind of over my shoulder, and we were looking at this s'mores milkshake thing. And he's like, "Oh my God, that looks good." I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to get one, right? We can share it." And he
Make
goes,
it
"No,
exciting, yeah.
but then he's like, "Oh, but no, I want one to myself." I'm like, "Well, no, we all share it so that we can try different things, right?" But yeah, like I said, it's foreign to them, but it's getting easier with every trip.
Yeah, for sure. And we've had to be pretty strategic with our stops in previous times. But now that they are older, we're just hoping that we'll get a little bit more mileage out of them this year, and that they'll want to try some new things too. Our son's palate especially has gotten a little bit more adventurous, which is exciting. So
definitely.
I think he'd be more willing to try some stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
So Remy's Hide and Squeak will start with the festival, but Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit will start a touch later on September 25th. But it's the same basic concept. You're going to find some hidden pumpkins around the park, and when you're done, you're going to redeem it for a Halloween-themed prize. For both, the maps and stickers cost $11.99. I think we're going to give those a go with the kids.
For sure.
Yeah, make it exciting for them.
Yeah.
The Eat to the Beat concert series is also back for 2026. These are nightly performances by popular bands, artists, and local acts who perform live at the America Gardens Theater. Concerts start on the first night of the festival, so August 27th, and they go through to November 16th. There are 3 show times at 5:30 p.m., 6:45 p.m., and 8 p.m. Each year, there are some pretty big names with some returning acts and some new ones as well. So in August, you're going to find Motown and Hanson. Everybody loves Hanson.
Yep.
Bop.
Yeah, totally.
September, you're going to find Yellow Card, Smash Mouth, Newfound Glory is returning, and then several new acts, including The War and Treaty, Couch, Fits in the Tantrum, and Grupo Mania, among a few others. In October, you're going to find Tiffany, Viva Latina, The Fray, Starship featuring Mickey Thomas, Jacqueline Hayden, Ben Rector, and the new acts are going to be Ray Ruiz, Alan Stone, and Lauren Elena.
Yeah, that's right. And then for November, you're going to have returning Southbound, Boys to Men, M80s, The Beach Boys and the Hooligans, and new acts Big Head Todd and The Monsters and Grace Potter. The full lineup, along with performance dates, are both on the Walt Disney World website under the festival page or on the Disney Parks blog. On the Disney Parks blog, they're actually like listed, like itemized. I find it's a little bit cleaner there, so that's where I would go look. And you can check to see who is performing during your trip, right? And just adjust your EPCOT day accordingly to see if there's, or rather if there's something you really want to see, you can kind of match up that with the day you're going to be in the park. The more popular names definitely attract some big crowds, so go early if this is a priority for you, or maybe consider one of those dining packages for reserved seating. Okay, so it works just like the other festivals. You enjoy a meal at one of the participating restaurants, and you receive a guaranteed seat to one of the show times on the day of your reservation. The prices are going to vary depending on where you choose to eat, right? It makes sense, but it's important to note that not every restaurant participates. Having said that, some of the restaurants that do are Spice Road Table, Beer Garden, Coral Reef, Le Cellier, Akershus, Garden Grill, among a few others. Regal Eagle also does this, which is the only quick service restaurant to do it. And it offers same day dining packages. And obviously that's the least expensive option, right? So something to consider there. You can book these right on the Walt Disney World website or the My Disney Experience app, just like any other dining reservation. Note that reservations opened way back on July 16th, and now they're opening with the 60-day window, right? Like any other reservation.
Yeah. And then new for this year, there's actually going to be an exhibit named Cheers to Cheese over at the CommuniCore Hall. This is going to be an interactive exhibit where you'll discover fun facts about cheese and its history from around the world. So that's fun.
Yeah. I would definitely want to go check that out.
Definitely going to go there.
Yeah.
This won't open actually until September 18th, and it's set to run only until November 8th. So it will be when we're there. So that's exciting.
Yep.
The late start is actually because of the Cool Kids Summer, which is still Goofy Core until September 8th. And then they're going to take a few days, obviously, to make the transition before this opens. Oliver's going to miss it on his upcoming trip.
Which is unfortunate.
It's okay.
Yeah, we'll
make 2 trips.
we'll make up for it in October. Yeah.
All right. Now let's get into my favorite part of all this, the food.
Yeah.
We mentioned this tip before many times, but a good way to cap your spending when it comes to snacking your way around the global marketplaces during the festival is to actually load a gift card with the amount that you want to spend. We never used to do this. This is like a newer thing for us, and it's a really great system. Yeah. And then, like I said, that's your limit. Whatever you've put on that gift card, you can't spend anymore. It is so easy to overspend at the festivals, especially during food and wine. So this is definitely a good strategy just to keep things reasonable.
Agreed 100%. Yeah.
Also, an added benefit is that it's a convenient way to pay at the festival booths without taking out your wallet every single time at every booth. You can grab these at Creation Shop, Gateway Gifts, Port of Entry, World Traveler, and a few other places as well. You're going to load this with whatever amount you want. It comes with a little plastic wristlet, and that way you don't lose it, and away you go. It's very convenient. We love this. They have a new theming each year, and they don't cost anything extra. So you get those for free, essentially,
Yep.
when you're loading your money onto it.
Yeah. Yep.
This year, it's actually Mickey holding a serving tray on a blue background, or Donald holding a tray of churros and seasoning them with sugar on a beige background. If you don't use your whole amount at the food booths, it actually just works as any old gift card too, which is awesome. So you can use that at any place that takes Disney gift cards, really. So we've done that before too. We haven't used all of our money.
Yep.
Also, if you run out and you want to reload, you can definitely do that as well. We usually do this when we go. It's not necessary in any way, but it just works really well for us.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I'm going to load one when I get there on September 7th, and we'll just keep using it for our October trip, right? Reloading as we need to. And I'm actually back there in November. I get 3 visits during Food and Wine this year, which I'm super stoked about because, yeah, like I said, it's my favorite for Food and Wine. And on that note, Emile's Fromage Montage is also back for 2026, which is the food scavenger hunt for this festival. So just like the Garden Graze at Flower and Garden, the Cookie Stroll at Festival Holidays, and the Wonderful Walk of Colorful Cuisine at Festival of the Arts, it's super easy. Okay, so you pick up your passport at the park entrance or at any of the booths at the global marketplaces, and you can actually get them at most merchandise locations across the park as well, just pretty much anywhere. But your passport is actually going to have the featured dishes that are included in the crawl, whatever that is. So this is Fromage Montage for Food and Wine, right? Across all the marketplaces. The dishes obviously involve cheese in some way, right? Because it's a cheese-themed festival. The participating items are listed and marked with a cheese wedge, so you know which ones are eligible. They are usually also highlighted on their own page at the very back of the passport so that you don't have to guess as well. They're usually listed all in one place. For every dish you purchase, you get a stamp on the back of your passport, and once you've purchased and collected 5 stamps, you take it to Shimmering Sips, and you get a specialty treat, which is usually another treat themed to Food and Wine. It's important to note that you don't have to get different treats. Okay, so let's say like you wanted that griddled cheese from Greece and you bought that 5 times, you get 5 stamps for it. Doesn't matter what the thing is, you just have to have 5 purchases. Last year, the prize was key lime and vanilla Dole Whip with pie crumbles on top. Previous years, it's been like a little cheesecake piece on top of soft serve ice cream. So I'm just curious to see what it's going to be this year, but it's probably going to be that in a commemorative cup. Yep. It's going to be some kind of ice cream or Dole Whip with some kind of like pie or cheesecake or something on top.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll definitely be completing that this year. So with that, let's get into that foodie guide, which Disney Parks blog just released earlier this week. We will say that this year looks especially good. We've had a quick look at the menu, and there's so many things that look and sound absolutely delicious. And this year is a milestone year for the festival because it's been going on now for 30 years.
30 years, yep.
So to celebrate, Disney is bringing back 30 dishes that are either returning or have been reimagined in some way, shape, or form from previous years. These items are marked with a special 30th icon in the foodie guide.
Yeah, that's right.
And like we said, Emile's Fromage Montage is back too. These items are marked with that cheese wedge on the foodie guide. One thing to note for the global marketplace, which is what the food booths are named at the festival, is that they actually don't open until 11 a.m. So if you were thinking of getting an early jump on the Fromage Montage and spreading your snacking throughout the day, you can do that, just not before 11 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
So the first couple of hours of our park time are just really a good time to go ride some rides, and then you'll be able to get your snacking going at 11 a.m. around the World Showcase.
Around noontime, yeah. So with that, let's get into the foodie guide. So first up is a new booth named The Wedge, hosted by Dairy Does More. So this is going to be at CommuniCore Hall. So it won't actually open with the festival. It's going to open on September 18th with the Cheers to Cheese exhibit. They're going to have a selection of cheeses with accompaniments featuring Proudly Wisconsin cheese, which is essentially just a charcuterie board, the crab and corn macaroni and cheese with smoked cheddar, bacon, crab seasoning, roasted corn, herb panko, and jalapenos, which sounds amazing.
It does.
This is a 30th item that was introduced at Farm and Fresh back in 2015. They also have the 3 cheese macaroni and cheese with smoked cheddar sauce and herb panko, and the cheesesteak macaroni and cheese with smoked cheddar sauce, shaved beef, peppers, onions, and herb panko. All of these are Fromage Montage items, right? Makes sense because they're mac and cheese.
Yep.
And then they also have this cannoli milkshake topped with chocolate shavings, cannoli shell, and a maraschino cherry, which looks and sounds amazing. I'm definitely going to be trying that.
Yeah.
They also have 3 wines that you can obviously make into a flight or pair with the selection of cheeses. So that's interesting, and that's an option.
Over at the festival's favorites booth, this is going to be open as of September 9th, so also not at the start of the festival. They're going to have the Bo Sam pork belly lettuce wraps with pork belly, kimchi slaw, and spicy aioli. This is a 30th item, first introduced in 2010 at the South Korea booth. They're also going to have the pumpkin cheesecake mousse trifle with Philadelphia cream cheese with citrus sauce and spice cake topped with a cranberry streusel. This was introduced in 2011 at Hops and Barley, and this is now a Fromage Montage item. They have the potato pierogi with kielbasa sausage, caramelized onions, and sour cream, which was introduced in 1996 at the Poland booth. They will also have the frozen s'mores, which is a chocolate milkshake with marshmallow syrup topped with mini marshmallows, chocolate shavings, and graham cracker. That's the one that you were talking about with our son.
Yeah, Caleb definitely wants to try that. Yeah.
And they're also going to have the frozen apple blossom made with apple cider, Seagram's ginger ale, Hartley apple VSOP brandy, mini marshmallows, and maple syrup. They also have 3 beers that you're going to be able to get into a flight.
Yeah, for sure. And then over at the Odyssey, Brewing Lab is back in that space, right? So this is always one that we stop at.
This is one of our faves.
Yeah, so they have a new buffalo dill pickle wing with house-made pickle ranch, which we love the dill pickles, so we're definitely going to be trying that.
Yeah.
Garlic Parmesan wings.
Done.
Yeah, they've had those before as well. Korean barbecue wings with gochujang, barbecue sauce, and toasted sesame.
Done.
And also the unnecessarily spicy yet extremely tasty Carolina Reaper pepper curry wings, okay, with creamy cucumber raita. These are also back from previous years. And then they also have the sweet chili lime plant-based chicken strips with plant-based cilantro, crema, and spicy peppers. And then they also have those fried pickle spears with dill ranch. They also have returning the pickle milkshake, right? So this was first introduced in 2023, so pretty recently, but it's been back every year since. And the frozen pomegranate and raspberry tea featuring Twinings pomegranate and raspberry herbal tea with orange ice cream molecules. They'll also have a selection of beers and hard ciders that you can make into flights as well.
Our son loves wings just as much as we do, so we'll definitely be making a stop there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Over at Connections, they'll have 3 new menu items. So the barbecue brie chicken pizza, which is 2 slices of freshly baked pizza topped with tamarind barbecue, arugula, cheese blend, onions, and piri-piri sauce. That actually looks really good. The caramel apple cheesecake Baumkuchen, and the frozen waffle Old Fashioned, which is a frozen blend of Maker's Mark Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, maple syrup, butterscotch syrup, and Angostura, I think I'm saying that right, bitters topped with a liege waffle and cherry. That is elaborate.
Too elaborate for me, probably, but.
And then Connections Cafe, which is the Starbucks, right next to Connections. They're going to have the pistachio chocolate mochi donut, which is also new and actually looks pretty tasty.
Over near Creations Shop, you're going to find Coastal Eats, which is only going to be available starting on October 2nd, so actually quite late into the festival. They're going to have the crab cake with tropical fruit chutney, mustard sauce, and micro celery, and the seafood pot pie with shrimps, scallop, and lobster bisque topped with a puff pastry. They also have the Riley Lookout Sauvignon Blanc and the Boyd and Blair Pomegranate Cotter.
Yeah, which makes sense, I think, because, seafood and super hot weather a little bit later, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Over at the Gyozas of Galaxy, which is near Guardians of the Galaxy, they're going to have the basil pesto chicken dumplings with basil pesto, fonduta, tomato confit, and balsamic. That actually sounds pretty tasty.
For sure. Yep.
The edamame dumplings with butternut squash puree, caramelized onions, sage, and a walnut toasted garlic elade. This is plant-based. Both of these are actually new this year. And the street corn style dumplings, which are chicken dumplings with a tomatillo salsa verde, street corn salad, cotija, lime crema, and cilantro. They also have the Willamette Valley Vineyards Pinot Gris.
Yeah, for sure. Those dumplings sound really tasty.
They do.
Especially the basil pesto chicken ones.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to try those.
I think we will try those ones.
Yeah. And then still in your creations, you're going to find the flavors from Fire Booth. So they have their Rodizio-style grilled beef skewer with marbled potatoes, charred shallots, roasted baby peppers, and chimichurri.
Oh, that sounds good.
That was first introduced back in 2009 at the Argentina booth. The smoked corned beef with house-made potato chips, cheese curds, pickled onions, and beer cheese fondue. The smoked chocolate bread pudding with chocolate ganache, vanilla bean bourbon sauce, and smoked sea salt. That sounds amazing.
Yes, it does.
They also have the swine brine cocktail made with Jim Beam Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, apple cinnamon cider, lemon juice, and Dijon mustard, topped with a pork wing. Okay, so another elaborate drink. And then they have the Left Hand Brewing Company Sawtooth Amber Ale and the 1000 Stories Bourbon Barrel Aged Zinfandel. Over at the Fry Basket, which is another pretty popular booth year over year. They have the same items that they usually have. So the adobo yuca fries with plant-based garlic cilantro aioli, and the popular fry flight, which is the sea salt malt vinegar fries, the truffle parmesan fries with the black garlic truffle aioli, and the sweet potato casserole fries with cinnamon sugar, candied pecans, and marshmallow cream. These sound a little bit weird, but they're super, super tasty. And with the other fries, it all works.
Yes, it really does. We promise. Start from savory to make your way down to sweet.
Exactly. Yeah. And also maybe later in the day or when it's not so hot.
Yes,
because
agreed.
It's hard to eat in the heat. And for beverages, they have the Barrel of Monk's Blood Orange Bliss Sour Ale and the Boyd and Blair Grapefruit Mule.
Over in World Nature near the Land Pavilion, you're going to find the Earth Eats booth. This is another one that's not going to be open until October 2nd. They have the red wine braised beef short rib with goat cheese polenta, tomato ragu, shaved pecorino cheese, and petit herbs. This is actually a Fromage Montage item, and that sounds really good, actually. I love short rib.
Mm-hmm.
And the new lemon almond olive oil cake with whipped Greek yogurt panna cotta, which looks and sounds delicious. Sounds very fresh.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a nice light dessert, not too sweet, which is nice.
Totally. Yep.
They also have the Minute Maid Aguas Fresca with strawberry hibiscus and Harkin barrel fermented Chardonnay. Inside the Land Pavilion at Sunshine Seasons, they have the Mickey-shaped celebration macarons, which are super cute, and your kids are for sure going to love this one. I know our kids will. We'll definitely be getting them one
for sure.
to share on
I
that.
showed a picture of this to the kids too, and they were like, oh my
Yes,
God,
please.
we want those. Yeah. Yeah.
And the Remy milkshake, which is a strawberry cheesecake milkshake topped with a cookie, mini cheesecake, white chocolate, Eiffel Tower, and a strawberry.
Super cute. Yeah. Heading into the World Showcase now near Disney Traders is the Australia booth. They're going to have the grilled bushberry spiced shrimp skewer with sweet and sour vegetables and coconut chili sauce, the roasted lamb chop with mint pesto and crushed salt and vinegar potato chips, which was first introduced in 2006, and the mixed berry pavlova with crunchy meringue shell, macerated berries, and whipped cream. They also have 3 wines that you can make into a flight. The Mexico booth is going to have 3 new options. The Tostado de Osobuco, which is pork osobuco atop a fried corn tortilla with chipotle black beans, salsa verde, queso fresco, and chives.
Done.
The taco, 100%. The taco de camarón, which is a flour tortilla with crispy tempura shrimp, shredded cabbage, and chipotle aioli. Yes,
I'll be all over that one.
100%. Yeah. That was introduced in 2010. And the Paleta de Moras, which is a berry ice pop filled with sweetened condensed milk topped with chili lime seasoning.
Yeah, the Mexico food booth never disappoints. It's always amazing.
Always so good. Yeah, agreed 100%.
Over in the Norway Pavilion at the Norway Cart, you're going to find the caramel cream and jet toast Norwegian brown cheese bole, which is kind of looks like that school bread that they're known for
sure.
over there.
Yeah.
So we're definitely curious about that one.
It looks like exactly. It looks like the shoal bread, or I think it's pronounced shoal,
yes,
but it
you're
doesn't.
right.
But it has to be stuffed with something. It can't just be like a dense bread. I think there's going to be something in the middle.
Something in there. Yeah. The China booth gets the dumplings trio, which is an assortment of pan-fried chicken, pork, and vegetable dumplings with a house-made sweet and spicy sauce. This was first introduced in 1996. I love dumplings, so I would definitely try that one. The smoked duck bao bun with pickled cucumber, scallions, and hoisin sauce, and the Beijing Seijiang noodles with stir-fried minced beef, cucumber, chili, and carrots in a savory Douban sauce. They also have a handful of cocktails and beers at this one as well. The India booth is near the China booth, and this one is also not going to be opening until October 2nd, like the other ones before.
That's right, yep.
They'll have the potato pea samosas with a plant-based coriander lime cream, which was first introduced in 2005, and the chicken tikka masala with fennel-spiced yogurt and naan bread, which was first introduced in 2004.
I love tikka masala.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I think we might have to try that one. The kids would probably like that one, too.
They do like tikka masala because they had it on the Wish, you remember?
Yes, they
At
did.
Marceline Market.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and we all loved it there.
And they were like, oh, this is fun. Yeah. They also have the Mango Lassi, which you can get spiked with rum, the United Breweries Taj Mahal Premier Lager, and the Sula Tropical Brut Sparkling Wine.
Yeah, exactly. And then Refreshment Outpost, hosted by Coca-Cola booth. This is between China and Germany. They're going to have the Burberry Spice Beef Stew with sweet potato mealy pap and kachumbari slaw. The sweet potato mealy pap with a stew of beans, peppers, carrots, and tomatoes, which was first introduced in 2004 at the South Africa booth. And the South African cream liqueur chocolate mousse with white chocolate ganache and chocolate-covered popping candy, which looks and sounds divine. It kind of reminds me of a zebra dome, but not really, but kind of like that. And then they also have the Midnight Safari cocktail with Manzas African whiskey, GE Mazenas creme de cassis, the Dijon liquor, my lord, and sour mix garnished with blackberry and mint. That's another elaborate drink. They also have a wheat ale and 2 hard ciders as well. The Alps booth near Germany, this is another one that's not going to open until October 2nd. There's always so many, I feel like, that are not opening until later. But anyways.
At least you're going to get to go back for this one because this is a fan favorite of ours as
well. Exactly. And we get there on October 10th. So all of these are going to be open by the time we go. But
we're good to go.
They're going to have the warm raclette Swiss cheese on a baguette, right? They have this every year with jambon and apple mustard relish, which was first introduced way back in 97. And it is a fromage montage item. Not surprising. It usually is. The tartiflette, which is a potatoes gratin, caramelized onions, bacon, thyme, creme fraiche, and brie. This is also a fromage montage item. And the Kirschwasser Torte, which is a berry brandy buttercream, fondant, sugared almonds, and cherry compote. Also looks and sounds delicious. They also have 3 wines that you can make into a flight.
The Germany booth gets the Wiener Schnitzel with breaded veal cutlet featuring Heinz Brauhaus mustard, warm Yukon Gold potato salad, bacon, watercress radish salad, and lemon. The popular Schinken noodled, which is a pasta gratin with ham, onions, and cheese. This was first introduced in 2010. This is also a Fromage Montage item.
That's right. It's like
I think we got that.
Yes, it's like a dense,
very dense,
kind of like mac and cheese situation. Yeah, but it's hard to explain, but it's like
good.
Super good. But yeah, not one for the heat, just fair warning because it's super dense.
In October, I think that would be really good paired with the apple strudel with vanilla sauce, which was first introduced in 1996. The kids will love that one and we like that one too.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a few beers as well that you're going to be able to make into a flight.
That's going to be good with a grapefruit Schafferhofer.
Our favorite.
Yeah, totally.
We don't drink a ton of alcohol, especially when we're with the kids because it's just not what we want to do.
But I think that's like 2%.
Yeah,
it's
we
juice,
also
basically. Yeah.
We don't mind sharing one of the beverages if it and also like if one of these food festival beverages, especially like cocktails, are interesting to us, we'll share it then.
Yes,
usually,
for sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
The Summerfest booth will have the Zwölbelkuchen, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, which I'm sure I am, which is a German onion cake with caramelized onions, bacon, herbs, and a savory custard. And the Cinnamon Pretzel Cold Brew, which is a Joffrey's Cold Brew coffee with sweet cream, caramel, vanilla, cinnamon, and pretzel pieces.
That actually sounds good.
It does sound good. That sounds very tasty. The Spain booth between Germany and Italy is going to have the croquetas de jamón with saffron aioli and shaved jamón serrano. The paella caldoso with chicken, chorizo, gigante beans, romano beans, and saffron rice, which was actually first introduced in 1997. And the Basque cheesecake with orange sauce, which is on the Fromage Montage this year.
I like a cheesecake. Yep.
Yep. They also have the Summer in Spain cocktail with frozen simply lemonade with herbal liqueurs, and they have a wine as well.
This comes in a commemorative cup, and it looks like a
slushie.
I want to try this.
Done.
It sounds good.
I like a frozen cocktail,
especially this is a good one for the heat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one we'll try for sure.
Yeah. Over at the Italy booth, which always gets a bad rap, they have the stromboli with baked ham and provolone roll with parmesan and tomato sauce, pollo al marsala, which is a roasted chicken drumstick, creamy potato gnocchi, mushrooms, and marsala sauce. This was introduced in 2014. And the almond panna cotta with orange marmalade, whipped cream, and candied almonds, which actually looks really good. They also have a selection of wine, beer, cocktails, and sangria. Block & Hans at the American Adventure Pavilion gets the spicy strawberry mango smoothie made with Minute Maid strawberry smoothie mix and spicy mango syrup, which you can get spirited with Old Smoky strawberry moonshine. That actually sounds tasty as well. Regal Eagle gets the blackberry buckle, which is blackberry gelato and streusel, and the pumpkin pie milkshake with vanilla ice cream, pumpkin pie filling, and caramel sauce topped with whipped cream and streusel.
The Hops and Barley booth, still in the American Adventures Pavilion, gets the smoked brisket and cheddar melt made with chopped smoked brisket, caramelized onions, tangy barbecue, and cheddar sauce on a potato roll. The Gulf Coast style seafood roll with warm water lobster, rock shrimp, lobster bisque, and sherry creme fraiche on a toasted brioche bun, which was introduced in 2006. They also have the freshly baked chocolate pudding cake with Kentucky bourbon caramel. That sounds pretty good.
I think we had that in previous years.
That seems familiar.
Yep.
They also have the 3 beers that you can make into a flight as well. The funnel cake stand that is there just before you get into the Japan Pavilion gets the pumpkin pie funnel cake with pumpkin pie ice cream, whipped cream, dark chocolate sauce, cinnamon streusel, and powdered sugar. Yeah,
that's right. And then the Japan booth will have the spicy tamaki hand roll with spicy tuna, cucumber, rice cracker, and spicy mayonnaise sauce. The beef wagyu tamaki hand roll with savory American wagyu beef, pickled ginger, and spicy mayonnaise sauce. And the teriyaki chicken bun, which is a steamed bun filled with minced chicken, vegetables, and teriyaki sauce. And actually, it's interesting because they have a drink that's paired with a snack, the mango apple fruit pearl, which is paired with wasabi soy flavored potato chips. You can get just the mango apple fruit pearl drink, but it looks like if you want the chips, you need to order the combo. So you can get the drink and the chips, just the drink, but not just the chips, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah. They'll also have Sapporo and a couple of cocktails. The Greece booth between Japan and Morocco gets the chicken souvlaki gyro with shaved lettuce, tomato cucumber relish, and tzatziki on a warm pita. This was first introduced in 1997. The spanakopita and the famous griddled cheese, right, with pistachios and honey, which is a Fromage and Montage item year over year. Super
it's
good.
Our favorite. It's one of our favorites for sure.
It's a go-to. We're definitely getting it again this year. I'm probably getting it in September, October, and November. And then they also have a Greek melon limeade and 3 wines that you can make into a flight.
Over in Morocco, Tangerine Cafe finally has a few new offerings outside of their usual kebabs, which is awesome to see, although it's just not really a huge departure from their usual stuff. They have the chermoula chicken hummus bowl with apricot chutney and grilled shishito peppers served with pita. The spiced flank steak hummus bowl with harissa yogurt and roasted peppers served with pita. And the Ras El Hanout cauliflower bowl with chickpea salad, golden raisin relish, and parsley served with pita. And that was first introduced in 2003. They also have the plant-based falafel wrap with tomato, cucumber, relish, and garlic sauce served on a warm Moroccan flatbread. And the chocolate pistachio cookie, which actually looks really, really good. They also have the fig cocktail and 3 hard ciders that you can make into a flight.
Yeah, that we might have to try that cookie. It
Yeah,
does
for
look
sure.
delicious. The Belgian booth gets the Belgian waffle with cookie butter and whipped cream topped with speculoos cookie pieces. That was first introduced in 2010. Also delicious. The beer braved beef served with smoked Gouda mashed potatoes. And the chilled Belgian coffee that you can get spiked with chocolate deluxe salted caramel chocolate liqueur.
Whoa.
Yeah, yes, please. That sounds amazing. And they also have 3 beers that you can make into a flight. The Brazil booth between Morocco and France gets the pão de queijo, which is a popular Brazilian cheese bread that was first introduced in 99, and it is a Fromage Montage item. It usually is, as well as the moqueca de camarão, which is a plancha seared shrimp, bell peppers, cilantro, and tomatoes in a rich coconut milk broth featuring Bun's original long grain white rice. They also have the frozen caipirinha, sorry if I'm butchering that, a spirit cocktail, and a peach mango ale.
The France booth gets the red wine braised short ribs with shallot confit and potato gâteau, the spiced brioche with a 3 cheese mornay filling, and the trio of escargot bites in croissant dough, served with a garlic parsley dip, which was first introduced in 1996. Their sweet offering will be new this year, the pistachio creme brulee with berry compote, which sounds absolutely delicious. They also have a few cocktails, including the chilled French Cosmo. Over in the UK beer cart gets the sparkling cucumber gin cocktail made with Ford's gin, blackberry brandy, cucumber syrup, Minute Maid premium lemonade, and Machio Prosecco. The popcorn cart in Canada will have the Northern Ruby and Rhubarb liqueur, vodka, strawberry, ginger, and lime.
Yeah, that's right. And then the Canada booth will have the cheddar bacon soup served with pretzel roll. They usually do, which was first introduced in 2000. And the filet mignon with mushrooms and mashed potatoes, which was first introduced in 2011. La Poutinerie, which is the new poutine location in the Canada Pavilion, will have the Seoul, South Korea Bo-Sam pork poutine with french fries, cheese curds, Bo-Sam pork, gochujang gravy, kimchi pickles, aioli, and sesame. There's a lot going on there. And the spiced apple slushy with frozen ginger beer blended with lively lime and spiced apple flavors. Shimmering Sips will have the strawberry champagne trifle and the tropical mimosa, the berry mimosa, and the blood orange mimosa that you can get into a mimosa flight.
The Hawaii booth is going to get the slow roasted pork slider with sweet and sour chutney featuring Dole pineapple and spicy mayonnaise on a Hawaiian roll, which was first introduced in 2012. The Hawaiian rice bowl with spam, eggs, eel sauce, spicy mayonnaise, and furikake, and the pineapple cheesecake with passion fruit curd and macadamia nuts. It's actually shaped like a pineapple and it looks super cute, and it is a Fromage Montage item. They also have the Oahu Sunrise made with vodka, Dole, pineapple juice, and grenadine, and they also have a beer and a wine here as well.
Yeah, we've had the
I
Oahu
was gonna
Sunrise
say that,
before.
yeah.
It's super tasty.
Might have to have that one again.
Yeah, totally.
On the walkway between the Imagination Pavilion and the World Showcase is the Bramblewood Bites booth. They have the bruleed sweet potatoes with dried cranberries, walnut streusel, and orange goat cheese. The grilled cider brine pork tenderloin with chili apple butter, celeriac apple slaw, and the apple cider gastrique. And then they have the cast iron seared river trout with vanilla butternut squash puree, Brussels sprouts salad, candied pecans, spicy pumpkin seeds, dried cranberries, and maple dressing. That's a lot on that one.
There's a lot going on there, yeah.
For drinks, they have the spiced apple rum old fashioned with Boyd and Blair rum and the Crooked Can Brewing Company banana bread German style wheat beer.
Yeah, there's a lot going on at that booth for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
Not far from Bramblewood Bites is the Milden Mule booth, which will have the butternut squash and ginger bisque with cinnamon cream, toasted pumpkin seeds, and pumpkin seed oil. The freshly baked carrot cake with walnuts and cream cheese icing, which was first introduced in 2014, and we have had that before. It's actually really good. This was at Hops and Barley originally. And the apple, cinnamon, and caramel mini churro sundae with vanilla bean gelato. They also have Three Daughters Brewing apple strudel hard cider and the Southern Tier Brewing Company Sweater Weather vanilla toffee amber ale. That's awesome.
I love that. Sweater weather is my favorite season, so
Yeah.
I love that it's named that.
The Forest and Field booth will have the spicy black bean mushroom chili with plant-based sour cream, plant-based cheddar, and cornbread croutons. The pumpkin mascarpone raviola with brown butter vinaigrette, pecorino cheese, pomegranate seeds, and hazelnut praline. This is a Fromage Montage item. And now we actually, if you remember, we tried this a couple of years ago and we weren't wowed, but I think it's because it had been sitting a while. But I am willing to try it again because it definitely has potential. They also have the shiashita, sorry if I'm butchering that, sandwich with mortadella, prosciutto ham, sun-dried peppers, arugula, stracciatella cheese, fall squash mostarda, and pistachio pesto on a warm focaccia.
This World Showcase booth is going to have the liquid nitrogen almond truffle mousse with a whiskey caramel sauce, and that was first introduced in 2015 at Chew Lab. They also have a soft serve and a waffle cone in either vanilla, apple cinnamon, or salted caramel flavor. They also have the frozen Zorlata, which is made with apple pie filling and an apple cinnamon cider topped with streusel. This was first introduced in 2013 at the Poland booth. You can also get it spiked with vodka. They have the Irish milkshake made with a Guinness Stout, Bailey's Original Irish Cream Liqueur, and vanilla ice cream. The strawberry beer float with Fruity Strawberry Belgian White Beer and vanilla soft serve. And then they can also make you floats with Coca-Cola, Barq's Red Cream Soda, or Fanta Grape with your choice of soft serve. And then they also have a beer and a red wine. Yeah,
that's right. And last but not least is the Joffrey's carts across the park, right? So the one in the American Adventure Pavilion gets the Avocado alle Mandorle cold brew with almond syrup and oat milk, topped with whipped cream and toffee nut sauce, which you can get spirited with Grey Goose vodka. The Joffrey's near Disney Traders gets the Dolce Affogato cold brew with sugarcane syrup and oat milk, topped with whipped cream and rainbow sugar sprinkles, which you can get also spirited with Bailey's. The Joffrey's between UK and Canada gets the Notte di Caramello cold brew with caramel syrup and oat milk, topped with whipped cream and cinnamon, which you can also get spirited with Bailey's. And lastly, the Joffrey's near Guardians of the Galaxy gets the Affogato di Marshmallow cold brew with toasted marshmallow syrup and oat milk, topped with whipped cream and graham crackers, which you can also get spirited with Grey Goose vodka.
Yeah, and that is it for food. A lot of it sounds amazing, and I cannot wait to try a lot of these things.
For sure, agreed.
So we definitely have a list going, and we're just going to be checking things off while we're there. You'll be able to test a few things too and let us know if they were worth our time or not when we're there.
For sure, because like we said, right, I'm going to be there 3 times during the festival, so lots of time to try lots of different things, which is great. I'm super stoked for that. Yeah.
But even with that, we still have to prioritize, right? Because there is so much food. There's so many drinks. There's just so much going on. What we normally do is we go over the menu well ahead of time. We write down which ones we for sure want to try, and then we just go from there.
Totally. Yep.
It's also worth mentioning that if you'll be heading into EPCOT on at least a couple of days during your trip, you definitely do not have to get this all done in one day. You can stretch it out over the length of your trip or more than one trip if you're fortunate enough to be able to go back twice or more during the festival.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could easily start the Fromage Montage in September, right? So let's say I get like 2 stamps. Well, we can get the other 3 stamps when, we're there together with the kids and then finish it then.
And then try all the other foods as well.
Exactly. Or I can finish it in September. I can finish it again as a family in October, and I can finish it again in November. It's completely up to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Another thing we forgot to mention too is that this is a Disney event, right? Which means that there's merch specific to the festival. They always have your typical items, right? So think like t-shirts, sweaters, spirit jersey, plushes, but they also do like houseware and kitchen items like tea towels, aprons, spatulas, measuring cups, like, salt and pepper shakers, among much, much more specifically for food and wine because it's like food themed, right? So there's a lot of like food themed
kitchen
merch
stuff. Yeah,
exactly. The merch looks really cute as it always does. So we definitely maybe picking up a couple of items. Yeah,
I'm so excited for food and wine this year. We didn't get to go last year, and we actually haven't been since 2024. So I literally cannot wait. This is going to be great.
Yep.
Plus, the kids are a little bit older this year. Like I was saying, their palate has gotten a little bit better in time.
And we've shown them some of the items from the foodie guide.
They're super excited. Yeah. So I think we're just going to all have fun with it this year. And then we're going to let them do the scavenger hunts as well. And that's just going to be awesome.
We're going to have fun with it. Totally agree. I can't wait. With that said, thank you for joining us today to talk food and wine, our absolute favorite. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. And as always, if you could leave us a rating and review, it would be greatly appreciated. If you choose to do so, you can leave reviews right on Apple Podcasts. And for Spotify, you can leave a rating.
You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at letsgo.totheparks, as well as on our Facebook page, Let's Go to the Parks. We share some helpful reels here as well as some fun ones. The link tree in the show notes will take you to all of our socials.
Have a great day, and we'll see you real soon.